Welcome to Natural Habitat Adventures Daily Dose of Nature. I'm your host, Sunny Vanderstar. Today's topic is Get Ready for the Great Amazon River Expedition. And it will be presented by our fabulous NatHab expedition leader, Guillermo Nell. Guillermo, thank you so much for being here today. There are a lot of us who are super excited to hear about this incredible trip. So let's go ahead and dive in.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, everyone. And thanks to all for joining us for our daily dose. Know before you go, Great Amazon River Expedition. But before I start talking about this subject, I want to mention a few facts. You know, the Amazon, probably some of you know, doesn't need too much introduction. It's the largest rainforest in the world. It houses an incredible diversity of species. And also, the Amazon nowadays is considered one of the world's top 11 deforestation fronts. Very sad. So there's a lot of institutions and organizations that are doing a lot of efforts to revert this situation and to try to protect this incredible ecosystem. So as travelers, me, you, yourselves, I think the Amazon is a must in our wish list, in our wish list. Because you have to see it and experience it, you know, before, at least once before it disappears and before it's gone. So I thank you guys very much for choosing to come and visit us. You know, you will love this experience. And just for your knowledge, we run trips all year round. Some trips are in the rainy season, some trips are in the dry season, in between. Currently, we are offering like 10 trips per year. It's a lot, and we are planning probably to offer more. So welcome once again. Thanks for your time, and we will address some questions at the end of the presentation. Okay. By the way, this picture here, beautiful picture, was took during the dry season. It's easy to tell because you can see in each river bend how exposed are the sandbanks, the sand beaches. A beautiful place, a beautiful ecosystem. But first of all, I want to introduce myself properly before I start. My name is Guillermo Kennel, and I'm one of the 2 expedition leaders that leads this program. I have been working from NatHab since 2016. I was born and raised in Lima, which is the capital of Peru. I've been working in the Amazon for more than 35 years already. In my early years, when I was wild and young, I started working as a resident naturalist guide on some ecologists, you know, in the Amazon for several years. Then I started moving forward and started joining some conservation organizations and NGOs. And I started working a lot with native communities. Actually, I spent a lot of time with traditional native communities. That was an incredible experience for me. I learned so much. And then I started traveling around the world in expedition cruise ships for several years until I found the NatHab family. And I started working for them in 2016. And also, I created my own company that deals with logistics in the Amazon for special projects and documentaries. So nowadays, what I'm doing is combining both, you know, and I'm happy to do it, and it's working really good. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how we prepare for this incredible adventure. And for sure, some of you already pre-booked this trip, and you receive already this pre-departure briefing, this small booklet. Some of you are in the process of joining us, of course, and in the short term, in the near future, we probably will also receive this booklet. It has a very precise and detailed information about our program, about our trip. And of course, this booklet is covering most of the information that I'm going to talk today. The only difference is that I'm going to present pictures and images that for better understanding, you know. But most of the information is already covered in this PDB, the pre-departure briefing. Okay, so before we talk about the itinerary, first we must to locate ourselves geographically, right? To understand where we are, how we're going to move, where we're going. This is Peru here in South America. Peru actually is the third largest country in South America after Argentina and Brazil. Lima, the capital, is located near the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, right here. And we're going to fly from Lima all the way to the jungle. You are coming actually from your country to Lima. Usually the program starts in Lima. We stay one night in Lima, and the following day we fly. We fly from Lima all the way to the northeast of the country to Iquitos, located in the middle of the lowland forest. You know, we start, I put a picture here, we start in the desert coast, we go across the Andes. If some of you have the lucky to be near the windows, you will see snow-capped peaks that belongs to the Andes, impressive view from the airplane. And then we're going to end up, of course, in the green carpet, in the lowlands. It's like a 1 hour and a half trip from Lima to Iquitos. And you know, it's very interesting because every time we think or we talk about going into the jungle, people picture themselves flying in a bush plane or twin otter, propeller, small airplane. No, sir. Here we are flying in a very modern aircraft. It's actually one of those Airbuses, very modern fleet, very comfortable. So we're going to use one of those, again, 1 hour and a half, all the way to Iquitos. Iquitos is a very interesting town, city, and it has a very small airport, very small airport. Here I put a picture here on the left. So the arrival process is very smooth, very easy, you know. Once we get there, we are going to find some local guys that are going to travel with us on our experience. And it's important to mention here that since it's a very small airport, it doesn't have jet bridges to connect the airplane to the airport itself. So you have to go down, like you see in the picture, and walk through the tarmac. It's like 100 yards, that's all, to reach the airport. So once we are ready and with all our luggage collected, we have some local guys that help us to do that very quickly. Then we are going to begin our first part of our journey. We just all together, we just go out of the airport, and we're going to find in the parking lot a bus like this one waiting for us, packed already with extra waters, box lunches. We put all our luggage in the cargo section, and then we're ready to go. If there's a little map below to show you that we have to drive 60 miles from the Iquitos airport all the way to the embarkation point at the end of the road. And at the end of the road, we are going to find this little city with 30,000 inhabitants. It's a very small city, which is also the embarkation point. So 60 miles in the only paved road that you can manage to find in Iquitos. Very interesting. Once we arrive to Naura City after 2 hours, we're going to see our vessel dock in front of us at the Marañón River, the Delfin number 2. love this boat. I mean, it's a little vessel that radiates like a familiar atmosphere, you know, with first-class crew members. It's a very friendly, warm environment. You will love it. This is the deck plan. The Delphine is divided in 3 levels. The main deck is also the embarkation point. And you will find in the main deck cabins, suites from 1 to 8. Then you will climb a few steps in order to reach the upper deck. In the upper deck, we have cabins from 9 to 16. And in the back part of the vessel, we have the dining room. And the top observation deck, of course, it has the lecture room on the back part. And in the center, the most important place of the whole vessel, the bar area. There's an outdoor lounge in here where we have some presentations, a very cool place to just sit and rest. Very interesting small vessel and very comfortable. Also, vessel is equipped with 3 boats. We call them skiffs that we are going to use for the excursions. See there, each of them, they have a capacity of 12 passengers. You can see there's a lot of room to move around, very comfortable seats. We always, when we go out, we always carry extra water. We have walking sticks available also, and extra rain ponchos. And I'm going to show you pictures of those later on. So we are well equipped to leave the vessel and go and do our exploration. Food. Of course, probably already known that the Peruvian cuisine is really known already. It's very popular. It's getting popular even every year. And for sure, it's going to be one of the highlights of your trip. This is the dining room. We're going to have in the same spot breakfast, which is a buffet style, and lunch and dinner is served. It's a gourmet style, you know, with 100% of natural products. We just use natural products from the region. And of course, you will have the opportunity to try a combination of different options from the Peruvian Amazon, of course, from the coast, from the Andes, like a fusion. I think you will love the food. And as you may know, we always receive in every trip in advance the food restrictions from all of you, from all the passengers. So we know ahead of time what are these restrictions. So we send that information to the vessel. They know also in advance. But what we're going to do, we all actually not going to. Usually, what we do is during the first dinner, we double check with the passengers. All the restrictions are okay. Of course, in the process, if you want to change something, or you wanna decide not to eat something else, you are allowed to do it. If you ask us on time and before the preparation of the meals, it's perfectly fine. No problem. No problem. So food, again, remember, this is going to be one of the highlights for sure. But this is the map of the reserve, the Pacaya Samira National Reserve. This is the area that we're going to explore. No, this incredible reserve, I mean, is the second largest reserve, protected reserve in Peru. It's about 4 million hectares. It's actually the largest protected flooded forest in Amazonia, second in South America. And the whole reserve here is flanked by these 2 rivers that form the mighty Amazon. The Marañón River on the left and the Ucayali River. We're going to be exploring all this area for 1 week. This itinerary has been polished, of course, throughout these past years. And me and Renzo, which is the other expedition leader, we sit together with the local guys, with the captains, and every year we're learning about the river. We're talking among ourselves to try to polish, depending on the seasons and the level of the water. We came out already with a final version. They're polishing, as I told you. And the whole idea of this program that we have is to maximize your Amazon experience by mixing cultural aspects, nature, of course, wildlife, and ecology information, with some doses of expedition type adventure. Now, these outdoors activities that we are going to offer you are combined also with some indoors activities, like some presentations and lectures, for example. This is a close-up of our playground. This is our playground for a week. This is a much clearer view of the Marañón River right here in the Ucayali. We are planning to spend 3 days in the Marañón River and around 4 days at the Ucayali. Some of the jungle walks that we're planning to offer will happen here in this area, Marañón River, because this is the place where we find a terra firme forest. That means forest that never gets flooded. So all year round, doesn't matter in which level you find the river, you will find dry land to walk in. While in the other side, everything gets flooded. There's no walking involved in these areas. The trip is listed as easy to moderate. Why? Because most of the time we will be using the skiffs to move around and to explore small rivers and small tributaries, creeks, So almost every day we're going to be exposed for at least a few hours in the morning, in the afternoon, to the rainforest environment, which involves, of course, heat and humidity. So we have to be prepared. So we have boat rides in early morning. Sometimes depending where we are, we're going to offer early mornings. That means pre-breakfast. And second morning excursion after breakfast. We call them regular mornings. And of course, in the afternoon, we will have some almost every day. And we're planning to offer a couple of night excursions. All this depends on the season. As for the sites, these pictures here shows you what kind of terrain and trails we are going to be walking. Mainly trails inside the forest, of course, closed canopy in the shade. And the ground, it's a combination of mud, clay, sand, usually with uneven terrain due to the tree roots crossing the trails in many spots. And in some areas, just a small, like hilly short transects, a little up and downs. Are not tough. Distance of the walks that we offer go from 2.5 miles for the long one. I just mentioned that we usually offer 2, and 1.5 miles for the short one. So depending on the season, rainy season we usually offer only 2 walks. During dry season, we may offer 3 walks. Total. I'm talking about walks inside the forest because, of course, when we disembark to visit a community, we also do a little walking there. It's different. Of course, some of the walks involves a few steps, in order to reach the upper terrace of the forest. There are some like small docks, observation docks, that you can see. picture on the top left. Sorry. And during a dry season, we like to offer a walk on the river islands, just to feel the sand, sometimes barefoot, very interesting, and enjoy the sundown. So those are more or less the walks that we are going to have. One of the hiking activities involves a little experience on our small catamarans, small Amazon catamarans, paddling across a lake with the help of local guides, of course. We also have kayaks on board, like 5 double kayaks, very comfortable. So we will offer some outings during our journey as well. Again, we have several small rivers that we like to choose, but again, everything it depends of the level of the water. Of course, the night excursions are a must in the Amazon. If you travel to the Amazon, you need to have this experience. It's a totally different experience. Just to hear the sounds, and sometimes we have a bright sky with a lot of stars, and we can manage to see some constellations, and just hearing the noise is incredible. We're going to offer a couple of night excursions, probably one on the Marañón River and the second one on the Ucayali River. Those are one of my favorites, night excursions. What we do is we just go late in the afternoon, we just wait inside the forest for the night to arrive, and then using spotters, here on the top right, using spotters, we are going to start searching for creatures, searching for the eyes of the creatures. Manage to find some caimans and 2 species of caimans, tuna birds, bats, and so on. It's a wonderful experience. What about seasonality and weather? Well, basically in this region, in all the Amazon, there's only 2 seasons, just rainy season and dry season. Low water season is the dry season, high water season is the rainy season. Here, for example, this is a picture of the same community. This is a community during the low season and the same community during the high water season. It's incredible how dramatically the landscape changes. Here, for example, you have a guy with a canoe, just paddling the river. It's amazing the amount of sand that are visible and exposed. During the high water, forget about that, you won't see anything. It's incredible how much it changes. And as I mentioned it before, we offered our trip all year round. So both seasons are really, really interesting. Some characteristics here just for you to see more or less the differences between the seasons. For example, in rainy season, of course, we have more mosquitoes available, inside the forest, some places. Not necessarily the mosquitoes are all over. It all depends on the type of forest you are visiting. It all depends on the season. It all depends on the area itself, species that surrounds a particular spot in terms of vegetation. More fruits available in the forest during the rainy season is also the fruiting season. Okay. Of course, accessibility to all creeks and small tributaries. Yeah, with the skiff we can manage to go anywhere during the rainy season. The landscape is incredible, and it changes a lot. The fish species is spread out, of course, so there's less fishing activities, more difficult to catch those guys. There's, we are in the rainforest, and we will have showers here and there more often, of course. Monkey species close to the river edges, since there's a lot of fruits available, of course, and no river banks, as I mentioned before. And also, other thing that is important is that we will have less steps to reach disembarkation spots. While in the dry season, less mosquitoes inside the forest is more comfortable, of course. Fewer fruits available. There are many species of animals that they will switch their diet from fruits to insects. So that doesn't mean that during the dry season we are going to be able to see also some mammals that are switching diets. Not necessarily so close to the edge sometimes, but you never know. The animals are always in motion, mainly monkey troops. Less accessibility to creeks, of course, and tributaries. There are many rivers that we are not able to go in during the dry season. So we have other excursions to offer, more walks. We spend some time on the river islands, and we just go along the margins of the river. The sandbanks are exposed. It's much easier to spot reptiles like caimans, river turtles, even snakes like anaconda, because we have so many logs exposed, and they like to rest on those. More shorebirds, of course, arriving, reds and storks. More visible fishing activities. People taking advantage of the sandbanks to set up some crops during the dry season. It's much easier to fish since the fish get trapped in small pools, in small streams. So you will see a lot of local people fishing almost all day. It's incredible. So there's a lot of local activity. It's more hotter and humid, of course, and more steps to climb in the disembarkation spots, of course, because all the river banks are more exposed. So we need to climb some steps in order to reach the first platform or terrace, and then a few other steps to reach the second terrace. But again, both seasons are incredible and very, very interesting to experience. Put this slide here just for you to understand the monthly precipitation in Quito. No? I mean, it's very, very similar. The highest peak is between April, May. Rainy season usually starts at the end of December and go all through end of April, more or less. And in May, we'll start going down, down, down. The driest months are September, August, and a little bit of October. When we are traveling, because we're moving, we are not staying in one particular spot. We are covering a big distance. I show you the map already. So sometimes even in the rainy season, we don't get rain at all because there are showers. The showers are focalized in spots. So, and since we are moving, sometimes we escape from the rain. So when you go to see the forecast, it will show forecast mainly from the main town, Quito. And you will say probably rain, 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 and we are not experiencing any rain. So it's very, very interesting. The temperature is pretty much similar. You can see throughout the year. We are in the rainforest, so conditions change slightly. And since we are moving on the vessel, as I told you, and covering distances, we may not have rain at all. We are in the rainforest. Okay. So dressing for excursions, of course, very important. This is a picture that highlight how guests looks when they go out for the jungle. We provide of rubber boots, very important for the boots. Of course, if somebody doesn't feel comfortable with the rubber boots, they can use their own hiking boots. That picture gives you a clear idea of what to wear. For me, it's better that, the best are the quick dry clothing. For me, it's the best choice. I bet you guys are familiar with this. So even on sunny days, you can wear these long light sleeves and long light pants. You can convert them in shorts, for example. But it's very important always to be protected by the sun, since we are going to spend a lot of time on the skiffs. on the skiffs, you can wear shorts if you want. But of course, I would recommend to put some sunblock on your legs. Even sometimes when I'm on the skiffs, since we are in motion, it's very comfortable. I mean, there's no mosquitoes at all. So you can wear shorts, even t-shirts, but always think that you need to be protected by the sun. Very important. Insect repellent, of course, is better a lotion or a cream instead of a spray, because the spray, it depends where you're using it. It will damage the wood. And you can, if you don't know how to apply, you can spray your neighbor behind you on the boat. So I would always recommend cream lotion. And the best thing to do is just to have your insect repellent with you in your day pack, and you just use it if you need to. Because sometimes I have seen guests applying the repellent before even we are landing in the disembarkation point, and suddenly there's no mosquitoes, nothing, very comfortable even inside the forest, and they are already smelling heat. So it's always better just to keep it with you, use it if it's needed. So again, those are the kind of rubber boots that we are going to distribute for the jungle hikes. We have already your size. We received that information ahead. So you will have your rubber boots. Hiking boots, those are the ones that I recommend. We go out to visit the locals and disembarking small communities. You can even use your hiking boots. You don't need the rubber boots. So I would recommend to bring a pair of those. And of course, some sandals or tibas. They are great for the ski rides. Very comfortable. You don't need to be with sneakers or hiking boots while we are moving on skis. I spend most of the time when I'm there in sandals. Of course, I use my rubber boots when I'm going to walk, but most of the day just in sandals, even on the vessel and during the ski excursion. The picture that I want to show you for you to have an idea of our rain ponchos that we have for you. Every single skiff is carrying rain ponchos extra. I know that you are going to bring your own rain gear, but sometimes you need an extra to cover your legs or to cover your equipment, so those are available, just to let you know. I mentioned about the walking sticks, our wooden walking sticks, locally made. We are also providing for the jungle walks. Very comfortable. Each of them is like a meter long. So in summary, for the jungle walks, we offer the walking sticks. We are offering also I'll provide the rubber boots, and you have the extra ponchos for you. Even if somebody wants to take them to the jungle walks, it's okay. You are allowed to do it. Besides your rain gear, no problem. So those three things, you can find them in each of the skiffs that we have. But for the equipment, it is really important, I would say, to bring binoculars if you have a chance, and a camera, of course. Binoculars, is the most important equipment to enjoy better all the sightseeings. Always what we do is we try to locate the skiffs in the right position for you to enjoy the birds, the animals, whatever we find inside the forest, we will locate the skiff for you to see. So it's very important to have the binoculars because we will improve your experience. If you forgot to bring a pair of binoculars, the vessel rent some binoculars. Fun. For cameras, I will recommend the compact cameras because you don't lose time to change lens, and also they are much lighter. when you are carrying them during the walks, for example. No? I know that some of you are they like to make hobby to take pictures, and you will have the camera with the lens. Yeah, they're perfectly fine to bring them. But if you are asking me for a recommendation, I prefer activities and excursions. All the activities are optional, of course, but we always encourage guests to try to participate in all the activities because, you know, we only have 1 week to show you as much as we can. So in that way, this could be one of your lifetime experience, you know, so you never know what you're going to see. So the more you go out, the more you're going to see and build up your own checklist of things that you find. That's our mission, to show you as much as we can. Have also a plan B. I know that, for example, people that doesn't want walk that kind of distances, what we do is people doesn't wanna walk, for example, during the jungle walk excursion, we can offer as a plan B a ski ride for them, so they don't need to stay long on the vessel while everybody's having fun. You can just join us, take a private ski ride while the rest are just walking. Also, I decided to put this slide here just for you to be familiar with the way we point out the findings, you know, the wildlife encounters. No? While we're moving around on the skids, we always use it clockwise to locate the targets, let's say. 12 o'clock from the bow, there's a monkey, you know, 3 o'clock, there's an egret, and we have a pointer laser to help to locate the species. You know. It's a very tough job, but we are very used to it. Even the driver collaborates with finding things. We have 3 skiffs. We have 3 onboard naturalists that work together with us. So in total, we are 5 people searching for things when we go out on the skiffs. So you cannot miss anything. If something is there and it's moving, for sure we're going to find it. You guys. So in general, as I told you already, most of the days we're going to be exploring. You know, we're using the skiffs in the mornings and exploring, looking for things. Birds. I mean, you're going to be overwhelmed with birds. I mean, they're all over the place. I mean, this is not a birding trip, but you cannot miss them. There will be birds all over the place. So prepare yourself to be overwhelmed with birds. Actually, Peru is the 2nd country in the world with more birds. Imagine that. We're going to be looking for the emblematic species that occur in this incredible area. The Amazon River dolphins, of course, we have 2 species. Looking forward to see those. There are, believe it or not, at least the pink dolphin looks really weird. People think that because it looks really weird, it's going to be really hard to find, but it actually is quite easy in some particular spots on the reserve. Around, taking pictures, just hearing the noises, we're going to be looking for different species, of course. That's the whole point. Try to build up our checklist of the species. And while we are searching for creatures, we're also talking about plants and in ecology, you know. Mammals, of course, there are some emblematic species like the sloths. We're going to be searching for sloths. And now it's also a very important thing to tell you is that the area that we are visiting, the Pacaya Samira National Reserve, it's an area that we call Water World. when it gets inundated, both of those two big rivers that form the mighty Amazon will inundate the whole reserve. So most of the species that lives in the reserve are related to the water. So most of the mammals, let's say, that we're going to find are the arboreal ones. Monkeys, like the tamandua, which is a arboreal anteater. There are bats. So we are just moving around. During the walks, some of the walks, we will have some local trackers helping us to find the creepy crawling creatures, and they will bring it to us so we can take pictures. This is the time when we enjoy the forest, when we learn about the forest. We walk slowly, just touching things, smelling things, and learning about ecology. We're going to have also the opportunity to interact with the locals. Of course, every time we go to walk, we will find some locals. There are several species of monkeys that we're going to try to find for you. Usually in one trip of 9 days, 8 days, we manage to find 5, 6, 7, even 8 different species of monkeys. So the whole idea is just to look around, visit the different type of rivers, narrow creeks, wider lakes, take pictures, enjoy the amazing sunsets, just the incredible cloud formations. If we manage to see some locals, sometimes we approach to them and they show us the touch of the day. So the whole idea is just to absorb, what it's in this area. Besides the wildlife and the nature, just the local culture as well, very important. More birds, again, it's incredible. All over. I told you also we will have the time to explore some communities. We have a list of 4 or 5 communities that we like to visit throughout the year. Depending on the season, we will visit 2 or 3, so we don't create false expectations. So I know that some of you would like to bring some school suppliers, and I thank you for that. Yeah, what we do usually is, since we collect them from all the guests, and we, depending on how many school suppliers we have, we will split it in 2 or 3, and we will deliver it once we go and visit the communities. Very interesting places. People are friendly, so you don't need to ask for permission to take pictures. Everything is really smooth, easy going. Of course, sometimes we just stop on these incredible floating meadows to search for creepy crawling creatures. We're going to be learning about the little frogs and all the little creatures that they like to hang out in these floating meadows. You can see some small caimans and some snakes sometimes, and little frogs. Even the very famous poison dart frogs, we're going to be searching for those. So again, it's just enjoying all the creatures and the wildlife around, Beautiful pictures, beautiful landscape. And here we have the help of the driver, and one of the local naturalists also helping improve the experience of our guests. Birds, birds, birds. Even, we are going to find even species that are so colorful. You cannot miss those. So colorful, and some others are really cryptic. You have to look, really carefully, and it's a lot. it's amazing how much effort you need in order to find these incredible birds that are so well camouflaged inside the forest. But that's more or less a contrast of all the things that we're going to be looking for. They mentioned also some indoors activities like these fruit displays. We'll have some presentations, some lectures. we're planning also to visit a rescue center to learn about the conservation of the Amazon. That is also in the program. That's more or less what we are going to enjoy. This was a little brief introduction to our Amazon experience. Now coming soon. So looking forward to see some of you, if it's not all, joining this wonderful experience. Of course, more details and precise information is delivered when you have those. When you arrive to the vessel, you usually has a service talk, introduction talk aboard the vessel. So I'm open to questions right now. Somebody wanna something?
Yes, Guillermo, thank you so much. We've got a bunch of questions, but I just want to remind everybody they can submit their questions via the questions field in the control panel. So here's a fun one to start with. Tell us about snakes on this trip. Will we encounter snakes?
Well, I mean, the snakes, they have secretive behavior. So that means that they are not really exposed. Actually, to find a snake is considered a highlight. But we are searching always, mainly in the dry season, we are searching for anacondas. Because, as I mentioned it, it's much easier to see them. So there are a couple of rivers that we are going to visit during this journey that they are for anaconda, let's say. So we are always searching for them. Even during the jungle walks, we have the help of some trackers, and they are amazing. And they will probably find some snakes for us. So for sure, in a trip, a couple of snakes will be on our list for sure. Yeah, no problem.
Sounds good. I know you did touch on the difference between the dry season and the rainy season, but there were a lot of questions submitted about that topic and any advantages or pros and cons. Could you just summarize for us once again when the rainy season and dry seasons are, and any pros or cons that you see?
For me, I mean, both seasons are interesting in terms of let's say wildlife. I mean, it's very interesting both seasons because rainy season has a lot of fruits available, so you will find more species close to the river edges searching for fruits, more birds that like to feed on fruit. See? The landscape is also quite interesting because since there's water all over, we can manage to reach incredible lakes inside the forest, let's say. In terms of rain, it rains more often, but not necessarily every single day. Because as I said, since we are moving, sometimes we escape from the rain, that's normal. In dry season, well, and also during the walks, during the high water, during the rainy season, we'll be able to find probably more mosquitoes. But it's not that bad. I mean, there's more mosquitoes in the Everglades, more mosquitoes in Alaska, let's say. So that, of course, during the dry season in Morocco. And during the dry season, it's also interesting in terms of if you are like to see how the people, the local people are more exposed in the river because they are doing a lot of agriculture, they are doing a lot of fishing, you know. If you are a birder, probably you will be interested to see shorebirds, a lot of skimmers, storks, a lot of vultures arriving during this dry season because since the fish is gasping and there's a lot of fishing going on, there's a lot of fish that they end up dead on the shore. So all these birds are taking advantage of that. But on the other hand, the cons will be that not all the rivers are accessible. So we are not going to be able to go with the skiff wherever we want, like in the rainy season. Okay? We have to stay in the main channels. But we can walk on the islands and just enjoy the feeling of being just barefoot in the sand. What those kind of experiences we cannot do it in high water. So those are interesting. Actually, we have many guests that they came into the rainy season, and after hearing about what they can see and experience in the dry season, they want to come back. They decided, they told us, okay, I should come in the dry season then. So both are really interesting.
It does sound like you have to go more than once to experience all there is to experience. Is there any chance of seeing big cats on this trip?
It's very difficult. We manage. I mean, remember, we offer 10 trips per year, but the vessel is actually moving almost every month. And sometimes we talk with the local guys, and they manage to see jaguars once in a while. Not so common though, because remember, the whole area gets flooded, and the animals will run to the higher ground. So if you arrive to this particular area in the rainy season, there's no land around, so you won't see big mountains. See, that's the other difference. If you come to in dry season, probably we have seen several times capybaras that they come close to the river edges to feed on grass, but it's not that common. I have seen once. I mean, I started working with NatHab in 2016. I only have seen one jaguar crossing the river, and you never know. Actually, you never know. But it's not like being on the terra firme forest where you have more chances to see jaguars because it doesn't float. So.
Got it. Okay. There's a cluster of questions about malaria and different vaccines that are required for this trip. Can you touch on that topic in general?
Well, I want to put this picture here. Yeah, I know. I mean, there's a low to no risk of malaria in Peru, so usually for travelers, the anti-malarial tablets are not typically recommended because they have side effects. I mean, if you make the decision to take those pills, bear in mind that the malaria makers have several side effects. And I understand that the use of malaria prophylaxis is recommended by the CDC for travel in some areas of Peru, but there was a research a few years ago. Actually, the researchers from the National Center of Epidemiology, Disease and Prevention in Peru, they find out between 2020 and 2023 that the areas around Nauta City, where we embarked, and also around the Pacaya Samira National Reserve, are considered between medium and low risk. Also, why I'm putting this picture here? Because these are the famous owl monkeys or owl eye monkeys. And we have those species in the reserve. We may see some of those. And the owl monkeys are used to study the main types of human malaria. So these guys are susceptible, to infections in the labs. So they are indicators of no malaria in the area. See? So the problem is that when guests goes to the physicians, of course, they're going to look the map of the Amazon, and the whole map is painted on red. But it's not that like that. There are some sections of the Amazon that have more malaria than others. And just reading here, the research says that the area where we are exploring and where we offer our program is a low risk. Malaria, the thing with malaria is, I've been working in Amazon for 35 years and I never got malaria. If you're going to stay in a town with people like 1 month, 2 months, more than 15 days, that there were some malaria cases in that particular spot, then you take prevention, you take the pills. But if you're going to the Amazon for a week, you are moving around, you're not staying in a particular spot. Then it's not necessary. Knowing that they have side effects that can ruin your experience. That's very in mind that. Very in mind that.
If somebody would like to purchase art in local
Yes.
villages and so forth, what currency would people need?
Well, actually, they accept dollars, small
Okay.
bills, five, tens. They can even give you change sometimes, and of course, soles.
Hmm.
That, just bear in mind that in the Amazon, for example, now a dollar is 3 soles, always. 3 soles for $1. But if you come to Lima, let's say Lima City, currently $1 is 3.8, for example.
Hmm.
But in the jungle areas, it will pass. It will just it will be just three
Okay.
soles by $1. But yes, they accept dollars, small bills, in good shape, not broken ones, in good shape. They
Hmm.
will accept. They will accept.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Um, there's one of our viewers is going to be on a June trip and wants to know if there's anything besides school supplies that they could bring to the villages, that anything that they're looking for that they could use, that you'd recommend.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I don't want them to bring a lot of weight in their luggage, but I like to always, when I join these trips, I like to bring t-shirts,
Hmm.
for some of the guys who work as a trackers for us. And they need t-shirts. We're talking about besides school supply, no? T-shirts,
Hmm.
hats, for example. That would be nice for them because they need those
Hmm.
clothes for their work. Hats, for example. What else? Those two items are light, so you won't necessarily create a problem if you're bringing your own suitcases. So I would say t-shirt, hats,
Hmm.
school
Sounds good.
probably.
Okay. Um, will guests get to swim with the pink dolphins?
We are not offering swimming in these rivers. Uh, I mean, we will see them very close. I mean, we have a couple of spots where dolphins are all over, and we even see them from the upper deck. We usually dock the vessel inside the mouth of this river for the guests to take pictures from different angle, and then after we go out on the skiffs and just surround them and just stop the vessel and see them very close. But we are not allowed to jump in the water with them.
Hmm.
Actually, there's only one place in the world where you can swim with pink dolphins, and that is in Brazil. But here in these areas, no, not allowed.
Okay. Last question we have time for. Will there be much time to explore Iquitos?
Actually, no, we don't even go to Iquitos. Once we arrive to the airport of Iquitos, we just take the road that connects the airport to now. In order to go to Iquitos, you need like 45 minutes.
Hmm.
So no, we don't go to Iquitos. This program doesn't include a city tour in Iquitos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, our time is up, and there's lots of questions we did not get a chance to address. So, those of you who submitted questions, please do reach out to our concierge team or your adventure specialist to get those questions answered. But I'll turn it back to you, Guillermo, for closing comments.
Well, thank you very much for your attention, everybody, and we're looking forward to see you. Some of you, of course, this year, probably next year. Happy to share what I know. Um, and it's a wonderful experience. For sure, you guys will love it. Looking forward for that. The next trip is in March 2nd, so I'm really excited. I'm glad that we are not doing back to back, so I'm full of energy to join the next one. So thank you, and I guess I see you soon,
I
guys.
wish. I just want to close on my end by sharing a comment from one of your past travelers who is just expressing a lot of appreciation for their trip with you and Renzo that happened last year sometime. They said that you really took care and made this trip memorable for everybody. They definitely have a greater appreciation for the importance of the headwaters of the Amazon. The Delphine was wonderful, and the crew made the overall experience even better, including the superb cuisine. So she's just echoing your description of this incredible trip. I hope someday to join you as well. But that's that's all the time we have.
Kind words. Kind words.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
absolutely. So I just want to thank everybody who tuned in and who submitted questions. Please join us again next week for our next Daily Dose of Nature. You can check out next week's lineup, including registration links, on our website at nathab.com/webinars. We did record today's presentation, and we will have the replay available on our website soon. With that, I'll conclude the webinar. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.